the F103, Audi 60, 72, 75, 80 and Super 90. The F103 was based on the DKW F102 platform which started production in 1963. F102 was the last car model branded DKW and last car model produced with a two-stroke engine in West Germany. Despite having the state-of-the-art two-stroke engine and a contemporary unibody design, the F102 sold under expectations, forcing the new owner of Audi, Volkswagen, to implement the quick change in 1965. With production still continuing well into 1966, the F102 was made to accommodate a four-cylinder, four-stroke Mercedes-Benz M118 engine, abandoning the DKW name and becoming the first Audi produced since 1938. The F103 was in production from 1965 to 1972 in two- or four-door sedan and three-door estate called Variant in German versions. In total, the production numbers were 416,853, of which 386,361 were sedans and 27,492 variants. The various models in the range were labeled by the power output. Audi 72 launch model launched in 1965 simply as Audi, later named as the Audi 72. Audi 80 and the Super 90 added in 1966 as sports saloons. The Super 90 was produced only as a two- or a four-door sedan. Audi 60 added in 1968 as the economy version. Audi 75 added in 1969 as the unification of the 72 and 80. Engines in the F103 were Mercedes-Benz M118 inline fours, varying from 1.5 to 1.8 liters in capacity. M118 was dubbed as a Mitteldruckmotor in the 72 guise due to the unusually high compression ratio, being midway between a conventional petrol and diesel engine. It was later revised several times with increased displacements and reduced compression ratios for improved reliability. All the cars came equipped with a 4-speed manual gearbox. With disc brakes themselves still being an uncommon feature on the mid-size car market, the F103 came with inboard mounted disc brakes in the front and conventional drum brakes at the back. And today we have one of these cars here in flesh, one of 416,000 Audi F103s ever made. This is the single running and driving car left in Estonia. There is one other registered, but this is the only one still on the road. This car released in 1966, Bahama Blue or Bahama Blau, and it was sold as Audi, released before the change of model names to correspond with the power output of the cars. So this is in essence an Audi 72, but this one was still sold as an Audi. And if we take a look at the car identification plate, we can see that this car is produced as an Auto Union Audi.
Ganz in Weiß mit einem Blumenstrauß.
We were discussing with the owner of this car about the exterior features, and although this car was sold as a mid-class luxury car, there isn't anything that much different from other cars of this era. They all were looking pretty much similar back then, so I asked him whether the chrome trimmings or something in those lines would be noteworthy, but he said that most likely it's too far-fetched, and this car is pretty similar to everything else produced. What can we find under the bonnet of this Audi? An engine from Mercedes-Benz, which is mounted at a 45-degree angle, as you can see from the headers.
Der Motor, den wir uns jetzt hier einmal ansehen werden, er ist sehr übersichtlich, würde ich sagen. Wir haben hier allerdings auch noch ein Modell, wo wir das viel besser demonstrieren können. Was ist das Entscheidende an diesem Mercedes-Motor? Es ist ja ein Mercedes-Motor.
Das Entscheidende daran ist das sogenannte Mitteldruckverfahren. Das Mitteldruckverfahren bedeutet eine Verdichtung von 11,2. Normale Ottomotoren haben Verdichtung von 6 bis 9. Dieselmotoren von 16 bis 21. Dieser Motor liegt also dazwischen.
Die Leistung liegt bei 72 PS.
Ganz recht.
Hat er Reserven?
Der Motor hat natürlich Reserven, hat ein sehr breites Drehmomentfeld Und besitzt vor allen Dingen die Haupteigenschaft dieses Motors ist sehr geringer Verbrauch.
Ja, er ist schräge unter der Kühlerhaube angebracht, um überhaupt Platz zu finden.
Another rare technical solution was the brake discs. So the disc brakes in the front were rare in itself, but the fact that these are mounted really close to the gearbox was really unusual. And as it's visible quite way away from the axle and the tire itself. As we move into the interior of this car, few things to point out. The gauges are still from DKW F102 model. The newer Audi models had slightly different gauges. The dashboard on this car is painted. The newer cars had the dashboard covered with vinyl. This car has the gearbox steering column mounted, whereas the newer models had the gearbox mounted on the floor as the cars of today. You can see seatbelts in this car, which is actually not a factory feature. This car came without seatbelts from the factory, and this car has an opening rear quarter window. The so-called facelift models of this F103 platform didn't have the opening quarter window anymore.
Marmor, Stein und Eisen bricht, aber unsere Liebe nicht. Alles geht vorbei, doch wir sind uns treu.
To wrap this video up, a few more facts about the F103 body type. It was produced in 3 configurations. This one, as we have here, the 2-door sedan. There was also a 4-door sedan and a 3-door estate version. And coming back to one of the original things pointed out in this video, this car is an auto union Audi with a Mercedes-Benz engine. This pretty much wraps up this video about the Audi F103 and this car in particular, the Audi or the Audi 72.
Schalten wir das Radio an. Aus dem Lautsprecher klingt es dann.